We've got our presser foot raised. The next stage is to take our thread and pass it through the clip at the back. This is a hooked piece of metal and it says stage 1 on the top of your machine in a solid line. So we go through the hook at the back, and I like to do it with 2 hands, so make sure it's firmly in. Then the thread needs to come forwards and down, so it's going through part 1 and part 2, and part 2 is where your tension discs are. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a close-up of part 1 because part 1 is extremely important. So the most important step when you're threading up is to get the thread in the correct place in this area in stage 1. It's really easy to get it into the wrong place. If you do get it in the wrong place, what you may find happens is that you're sewing away and it all seems fine, and then at the start of a row, after about 5 centimetres, you suddenly get a bird's nest, and that's because the thread has slipped into this tension or slipped out of it. So it's important to get it in the right place when you start. So what we need to do is make sure the thread goes in between this pre-tension guide, which is on a spring here, don't know if you can see that, that springs, and the silver piece which is attached to the machine, the silver hook that's attached to the machine. It must go in between those two and not sit on the top or go the wrong side. So when you take your thread, you go up through the back and forwards, and it must go in between, and then we can come along and down. So really important to get in between those two. So now the thread comes forwards and down through the tension discs, then you can go round and up, and then you've got a guide here, so all you need to do is go in and out and it will go into the take-up lever at the top. It's really nice and easy. Then we come down and then we have a large needle bar, and then we go in from the left and you have a small needle bar, and now we're ready to use our needle threader, and we'll just have a close-up on that. So here we have the take-up lever, and the thread needs to go into the take-up lever. So what we do is we come up and we just go in the guide and then out of the guide, and then that clicks into position. So we've gone through our take-up lever and we've come down the front of the machine, section 5, and then we just need to pass our threads through the 2 needle bars. So we've got the large needle bar that it goes behind, and then we sweep round to the left and we just pop it through the small needle bar which is just there. Then we're ready to use our needle threader.